Now, how many times have you had an unpopular opinion and been too afraid to voice it? Or perhaps you were afraid to type up a comment on social media or a text to your friend and never hit the send button because you were afraid of how people would react. In recent years, we have seen this experience nationalized. In late 2025, many people saw their favorite late-night TV show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, pulled from the air indefinitely. This wasn't because of bad ratings, but rather because government officials threatened to revoke the network's broadcasting license over a viewpoint they didn't agree with. This is the state of censorship in America. We were founded on the idea that Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech. It's even embedded in our Constitution. Despite this, we continue to fight in a two-front war against both government overreach and our own silence, our own self-censorship. There used to be a very clear and distinct line regarding censorship. The basic legal consensus was that censorship was not permitted unless under extreme circumstances. In 1971, the Supreme Court in New York Times Company versus the United States ruled that the government cannot censor the press unless there is grave and direct threat to national security. However, today the government is blurring these lines. The attempted TikTok ban of 2025 was framed as a matter of national security, but it quickly became a political tool. 170 million Americans use the app. By banning it, then swooping in and saving it immediately after, the president's administration allowed for a guaranteed right to become a tool to gain political favor with young voters. When the government is permitted to decide which platforms we can use based on any agenda they might have, they are not protecting our rights. They are controlling our narrative, ensuring that they are always viewed positively. The second front of this war is far more dangerous. This is because it happens from within, and oftentimes we don't even realize it. This is self-censorship. Self-censorship is the act of, censoring yourself. According to the Free Speech Center at Middle Tennessee University, 62% of Americans feel uncomfortable voicing their opinions to their community. This number is even higher than it was during the McCarthy-era Red Scare. Now, why is it that now, more than ever, we are too afraid to voice our opinions? This is because when the government is in control of the narrative, it allows it to paint certain voices as being the minority, or even being harmful. We, as humans, are innately terrified of isolation, so we stop voicing our opinions if we believe they will lead to isolation. We stop talking to our neighbors, we stop talking to our coworkers, and sometimes we even stop talking to our family. In this way, the government no longer needs to pass laws barring our free speech. They have created a social pressure that silences those who aren't in the perceived minority. Some say the government should censor free speech to protect us from hate speech or misinformation. And sure, while this sounds like a great solution, until you pose the question of who defines what hate is. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, hate is defined as intense hostility and aversion, usually stemming from fear, anger, or sense of injury. It is also defined as extreme dislike, loathing, or systematic, often politically exploited expression of animosity. History proves this to be a slippery slope. In Nazi Germany, the government viewed any positive portrayal of Jewish people as hate speech because it did not fit in their anti-Semitic ideology. However, in the Supreme Court case, Mattal versus Tam, the Supreme Court ruled that even hate speech is protected. This is because we cannot and should not trust any single governing body to be just in censoring. Allowing one governing body to control the narrative cannot be done without running the risk for an abuse of power. The First Amendment was not written to protect only the speech we agree with. It was written to protect all speech, even the kind we don't like. If we continue to accept public safety or national security as an excuse for political censorship, we will lose this war on both fronts. It is now, more than ever, that we must challenge ourselves to reclaim the First Amendment. Click that send button, express that unpopular opinion, and have those uncomfortable conversations with your neighbors and families. Because the moment we let the government decide what we can and cannot say, we've lost the fundamental right that so many people have fought to secure. Thank you.